Hello, this is Paul Shearer with InformedCIO.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at VMware Server 2.0. This is the new public beta 1 released from VMware back in November. We're going to be talking about new functionality that's been added in the 2.0 version versus the 1.0 and 1 point dots that have been out for a while, as well as the reason that it's still called beta. We'll talk about some of the bugs and gotchas that I ran into and things that you're going to want to be aware of before installing this and playing with it on a server yourself. First of all, some of the key functionality. They've added new operating systems that are being supported. Windows Vista Business Edition and Ultimate are officially supported, as well as Windows Server 2008. The new version is supposed to be more scalable. In the 1.0 versions, an individual VM could only be up to 3.6 gig of memory. In the new version, that can go all the way up to 8. So you take 8 gigs of memory for an individual VM, plus the fact that you can assign it 2 CPUs, and all of a sudden you've just moved from the arena of just doing dev test scenarios in a lab environment to now being able to handle production loads. Extremely cool. One other thing to note on scalability is you can run up to 64 VMs on one host. You also have the ability to run 64-bit guest operating systems. And lastly, you also now have the ability to use those USB 2.0 devices. Data transfers on USB devices in VMware has always been a problem. It gets addressed and solved in this release. And of course, the most important burning question that's out there right now: will this product continue to be free? And the answer is yes. Alright, one of the first things that we notice here with the new VMware console is that previously it was an executable that we were running. Now it's strictly a web interface. It looks very similar to the ESX interface if you worked with that version of the VMware product. At the very top in the first pane, this is showing us the server that we're logged onto, and then underneath it, the VM installed. So if I click on the Lab 4 VM, it's going to pull up. Bear in mind that I'm also running my media encoder right now on the same server, capturing all of this. So the performance issues that you may or may not be seeing are most likely a result of the fact that I'm encoding and compressing this video on the fly while hosting a domain while running VM server. Things that you should never do on the same box. That's what I'm doing right now. So looking over here at the Summary tab, this basically shows us a quick summarization of the state of our VM. We can see status is powered on, guest OS. VMware is currently running the virtual machine version 6.0. Like I said, continuing down here in the hardware section, it basically shows how we're currently configured. One processor, half a gig of memory, 20 gig and a 12 gig hard drive, and the network is in bridged mode. And then these are all of my individual commands for whether I want to power down, restart, shut down guest, take a snapshot, etc. Going over to the Events tab, I'm going to show us the entire history of everything that we've done. The console is just that. This is going to let us log on to the actual VM and interact with it. And I'm going to go ahead and put it full screen. Control-Alt will get us out of full screen mode back to our console. We're going to cancel this. Now a Control-Alt insert logs us into the server. and now we're logging in. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the Control-Alt right now and return to our default view. And while that continues to log in and prepare our desktop, we're going to look at the Permissions tab. And this basically gives us a quick summarization of who is currently allowed access to this box. Now, I was talking about some of the gotchas that I've ran into so far with is after uninstalling 1.0.4 and installing 2.0 beta, my Windows 2000, which I'm running and hosting all of this on, came up and told me that some major changes had happened and I needed to reactivate the software. And when I attempted to reactivate it, told me it had been activated too many times and made me call Microsoft. It's a pain. This has been Paul Scheer with Informed CIO. Please go to my website and visit my sponsor links.